Thank you, Shannon, for the warm introduction. Hi, I'm Congresswoman Grace Meng from Queens, New York. I'm so honored and humbled to receive this award. I want to thank SETDA Board Chair Eric Hillman, Interim ED Christine Fox, Shannon Logan of the New York Department of Education, and the entire membership for this amazing recognition and the opportunity to say a few words. This award wouldn't be possible without your support and recognition of this crisis that so many of our students face. As a mom of 2 young boys, I know how important it is for students to have the tools they need to succeed at home and in school. Central to this is internet access, which is critical to student success. When the novel coronavirus came to our shores, no one knew how disastrous the virus would be. We didn't anticipate the high death rate, the millions of jobless Americans, the millions of kids who can't learn because they don't have internet access at home. Tragically, COVID-19 exposed major gaps in our society, especially between those who have internet and those who don't. But this problem, as you know, existed before the pandemic started. In the pre-coronavirus era, between 8 to 10 million students were part of the so-called homework gap, with nearly 7 in 10 teachers assigning homework that required internet access. These students had to find novel ways to complete their assignments. This often meant going to a library after school that offered free Wi-Fi, or sitting in a parking lot in the evening to grab a free Wi-Fi signal from a nearby fast food restaurant. That's no way for students to learn, and it's not sustainable. That's why I introduced the Closing the Homework Gap through Mobile Hotspots Act to ensure that every student who needs a mobile Wi-Fi hotspot gets one. I wanted to ensure that they could study from the comfort and security of their own home. But that was before COVID-19. Today, the homework gap is more like a chasm, and kids without internet access are at risk of not just missing their homework, they are at risk of losing an education. In the spring, states began to issue stay-at-home orders, and suddenly over 55 million students were learning from home. For kids without internet access at home or with limited devices, they really struggled to stay connected to their peers and teachers. Over the summer, a report came out that highlighted nearly 15 to 16 million students across the country lacking internet access or the necessary devices to sustain remote learning. These are students in rural, urban, and suburban areas. And this problem disproportionately affects Black, Latino, Native American, and low-income households. In late April, I introduced the Emergency Educational Connections Act in the House to ensure that every student has internet access and the necessary devices to continue their studies. My bill has nearly 100 co-sponsors, and my colleague, Senator Ed Markey, who has been a tireless leader on this issue, has introduced the companion version in the Senate. I'm also incredibly grateful to have SETDA's support. When you and nearly 50 education organizations sent a letter to House leadership expressing support for my bill in April. It's because of your voice and work on this issue that we've been able to move this bill through the House. As some of you may know, the Emergency Educational Connections Act was included in 2 COVID relief measures and the infrastructure reform bill. All 3 bills passed the House. While these bills languish on Senator McConnell's desk, millions of kids' futures are at stake. Making sure every kid can participate in remote learning is not a partisan issue. I remain hopeful that my bill will become law and millions of kids will have some relief during this unprecedented health crisis. I can't do this without you, and I look forward to continuing our partnership to help students succeed in this digital era. Thank you again for recognizing me with SETDA's 2020 Federal Policymaker of the Year Award. I'm truly honored, and I thank you so much for all your work on behalf of our students across America. Thank you.